Welcome to another special episode of Brush and Banter. I'm Bree Hansen, president of Zibra and co-host of the show. This week, we're revisiting past conversations to highlight the moments that can really shift how you think about your business. In this minisode, we're getting honest about money, specifically some of the most common mistakes artists make when it comes to pricing, client expectations, and understanding their value. You'll hear from Alli K, Off the Walls Murals, and Kyle Mosher as they share lessons learned the hard way. From underpricing projects to navigating client relationships to costly mistakes that changed how they approach their work. If you've ever second-guessed your pricing or felt unsure about what to charge, this episode is here to bring a little more clarity and confidence.
It's taboo, pricing. So pricing is one of the hardest things, I feel like, for muralists. In fact, side note, my neighbor I was painting my garage the other day, and she was like, I was doing a crossword puzzle, and you know what it said is like, what's the most expensive art form? And then I guess the answer was murals, which makes sense because when you're pricing your work, like there's a lot that goes into it, the equipment, all that, right? So what has helped you gain confidence in pricing your work fairly? And what do you wish more artists understood about pricing murals?
Not hermiting your idea of what pricing should be. You have to constantly talk, gauge, figure things out with other people. It's a fine line because we don't want to just like monopolize, like, okay, everyone needs to charge the same. Like, I think it's against the rules. I don't know, something weird about that. It's helpful and you're going to be more confident knowing what other people are pricing, how they price situations, but it's also very hard. Like, I don't charge the same for every single project. It has so many different variables. So when someone's like, what should I charge for this? I'm like, well, I'm going to ask you 12 questions and then I'll be able to get to that answer. So it's definitely being curious about the project that your client is asking for, but also being curious about the people that are in your community. And it really is based on your community. I think it is hard to compare yourself to someone that lives in California or someone that's on the East Coast. Like, all of our living situations are a little bit different and people value money a little bit differently if you're in a big city versus if you're a rural country or overseas, and things like that. But if you're in a different city, if you're in town, out of town, how many walls are there available? Like, that makes a huge difference. I wish there was a formula and it's like one less thing we have to think about and like, this is the price, take it or leave it. But yeah, it's just having to be curious.
Yeah. So you would say for someone starting out to kind of just reach out to people that are in probably the community or in a similar city or town to where they live, and just kind of ask questions before they even start.
Oh, for sure.
11 years into your business, do you feel like for the most part you show up to the job and you're like, yep, I price this fairly? Or do you feel like there's still those moments? I feel like every wall is different, the texture and the whole thing, right?
Oh, never. I'm like, for some reason, when someone's like, yeah, this is 20 feet, I'm like, okay, that's not bad. But then I get to 20 feet in person, y'all, is tall.
I'm like, 12 feet is
like, this is so much bigger than I was expecting. So I don't do site visits anymore. Or if I do, I charge for them just to, again, protect my time. It's just a weird, every time I do a site visit, it's like a 50-50 chance that it actually goes through. When I don't do a site visit, it always goes through. So I don't know, the energy is weird. But I know that I would not have that feeling when I get to the wall because I've already seen the wall, but it's fine.
That means you're doing something you love.
Exactly.
Okay, so often in your career and your journey as an artist, I think there's a shift that happens from when, kind of what you were saying, of when you're just creating and now you're all of a sudden like, oh, wait, I'm actually running a business. People are paying me for this. I have to like manage books and a schedule. And so talk about that transition and what that moment is like when you kind of realize that in your history.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrifying. Hire people that are smarter than you and better than you at those things.
So true.
Shout out my CPA. He said, stop buying that $10 coffee.
Hold it up. It's here.
Shout out my oat milk cold brew. Yeah, it's terrifying. I mean, I've made every mistake that you could ever make as an artist, as a person, as running a business. I mean, for me, like I have to make these mistakes. Like I try to avoid them. Let's be clear.
Right.
Don't go off making mistakes like on purpose. Like I try to avoid making mistakes. Trust me. I just know that I'm gonna mess things up. So it's like I got to learn. I got to be able to look at that as information, right? Like it's
Learn from it, yeah.
it's just information. It's like, okay, maybe the first time I ever got like a commission, I didn't realize that I was shipping it to Hawaii. You know, I was like, I didn't take into account shipping cost. Yeah, and then I had what was the other? Oh, I had a guy write me like a fraudulent check. And then they held me liable for it. So it was like $7,500. My bank was overdrawn. I was like, cool.
Oh.
Cool. I wonder how many $400 paintings I have to sell to make up for this $7,500. Like just stuff like that where I'm like looking back, I'm like, oh my God, Kyle, you big old idiot. But I think that's where, you know, having people, surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you, which is not hard for me, but like, and being like, what should I do? How can I do this better? Being receptive to that information. And my assistant, Alli, who you've met, I mean, she's incredible. Like she'll challenge me on stuff, but in a way that it's not coming from a place of ego. It's like genuinely like, you know, how do we make this mural better? How do we make this better for the client? How do we make this experience better for the client? And
as an artist, sometimes I'm like, I just want to paint the pretty pictures. Why do I have to do taxes? Why do I have to do these things? And some of the best advice I've been given is just like the things that are slowing you down because you're afraid of messing up, outsource those things.
Yeah.
And account that when you're, you know, factoring in shipping costs and like, okay, shipping costs, but also I need to pay a CPA. I need to pay somebody to help schedule. Like those are the things that as an artist, like if you can outsource those, like it saves the space in your brain to continue being creative, which is important because that's the moneymaker.
Yeah. Having that bandwidth to do other things is so important too. I mean, yeah, being present, that's another thing, just being present with the art, the creation, and just day-to-day life. It's like, if I find myself drifting to being like, oh, I gotta, you know, what's this contract look like? You know, you're not being present with, you know, that's another big thing too. It's like running a business is knowing when to compartmentalize that. And when you have like, you know, when you are an entrepreneur and you own your own business, it's hard to compartmentalize. Like, there are times where 2-3 in the morning you're working. Anybody who's a creative knows. And then there's times where you're a morning person and vice versa. So it's just, it's all part of the bigger picture of being a professional.
What early conversations do you remember having around like the expectations or money or, you know, like leaving your full-time job? Like how did those kind of honest conversations start to unfold between the two of you?
So I was a staff accountant and I also have a marketing degree. So I naturally kind of took on that side. She was a graphic designer, so she naturally kind of took on that side. So it was very easy for us to just kind of naturally fall into our own roles in it. But I do think that one of the things that was really important for us was we had talked a lot. We're dreamers, both of us. And so we had a lot of conversations about what we wanted to do, what the purpose of this was. Like giving back is huge for both of us. We want to donate a lot of murals every year. We'll talk about this later if you'd like, but we're going to be building a nonprofit as well. And there's just a lot that we are aligned on. And we had a lot of these pie in the sky conversations early on of like, where could this go? And, you know, these conversations that don't even feel like possibilities at the beginning. And we were so aligned in that way that it just was very easy for us to naturally kind of build towards that together.
We are curious to hear about this nonprofit and, you know, the donations of murals that you guys have mentioned. So we'd love to have you share a little bit about maybe what that looks like and what the future holds.
Yeah. So one of our things is we like to donate murals. We've recently started doing interior decorating as well and doing whole room transformations. One of the first conversations I think we had was we really want to do murals and room transformations for children's hospitals,
like cancer wards, anyone that like domestic violence shelters, anyone that like really needs kind of a pick-me-up.
We've done things for like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the United Way, things like that. We did paint for Children in Crisis, which is a local children's
It's a foster care system, but they're really unique. They have like their whole like own neighborhood and stuff, and they offer counseling and stuff like that. It's a really cool organization.
The whole idea is we want to be able to paint for these people and not charge them. And we do that. We actually just recently donated a mural there, but we want to be able to do more than we are capable of doing in our schedule, because we can only do a few per year at this rate. And so in order to expand that and offer that nationwide, we are going to be starting a nonprofit where people can donate. And then once we've hit the X number of dollars, we can go do room transformations in like the foster care rooms and things like that, children's hospitals, and donate that to the organization for free. But obviously we're partnering with people who want to donate. If we had our way, honestly, every mural that we ever do would be donated to somebody. Like that's what we've talked about so many times, is we just want to make an impact and make a difference, because I feel like we've been blessed with a talent that needs to be used for good.
1000%. For anybody who truly feels called to paint, all of us would say like, I would do this for free.
Yeah.
I would do this and there is a world where like to some degree that's true, where these people don't have to pay for it. But you as an artist and as a working professional do still get paid. And so I love this concept of, community fundraising and community building, because there's enough resources in the world for everybody to win, honestly.
Yeah. Speaking of, is there any like brands, paint related or otherwise, that have been like, you want to shout out, like more than helpful in terms of donating for you guys? Or like, have you made any of those connections where you're like, oh wait, like muralists should know that like so-and-so company gives back and like wants to help too?
So off the top of the head for me, I don't know if you can think of anything else, but Sherwin-Williams has donated a few times for us,
awesome.
Specifically for Make-A-Wish. And we're really close with a lot of like our rep and stuff. So if we contact them and tell them about our projects, they've been really good about donating. We have local people that have donated, like construction companies and stuff.
I did recently hear though that Zibra has partnered with some of our friends from Rooted that have done communities. We've never even thought about, talking to you guys, but
ask away.
Yeah, it's really cool to see like the most recent Make-A-Wish one that we did. We had 2 different local construction companies partner with us because we designed the entire space, which included new flooring, and it included us knocking out a doorway to build. He was in a wheelchair, so we wanted to get the wheelchair from his bedroom to the bathroom seamlessly. So we took out carpet, put down a floor, and built a larger opening. So 2 different construction companies actually joined us to help with that.
Thank you for listening to the Brush and Banter podcast, brought to you by Zibra. We're so grateful you're a part of the creative community. Gearing up for your next project? Head to enjoyzebra.com to grab your new favorite brushes, designed for comfort, precision, and serious creative flow. Be sure to follow Zibra Painting on Instagram for painting tips, artist features, and more. If you enjoyed our banter, subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review. Now, go make something beautiful. We'll be here when you need a little banter.